Motivation when it comes to getting better at League is a lot more complicated than it seems. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the benefits, but also the downsides of motivation, which a lot of people aren't aware of, especially the people that struggle to get motivated to begin with. The benefits of motivation are that you're higher energy. You can play for longer without feeling mentally or physically fatigued. It's easier to stay focused on the game instead of getting distracted by other things going on. And you also have a stronger mental while win streaking. This is an important caveat. You need to be winning for the stronger mental to be valid. If you're going through a difficult game, but you think the game is winnable, if you're highly motivated, you likely are going to stick that game all the way through and try your best. However, the downsides of having too much motivation is that you start to have expectations. You start thinking, oh, I want to hit this goal or win this many games, this much LP. And as soon as you start doing that, if it doesn't go well, it goes really badly because you're so emotionally invested because of how motivated you are to try to get better. The downsides can be brutal, especially on a loss streak. You're going to be more inclined to want to queue up again to recover what you believe to be lost progress, not just a lack of progress, but negative progress, going in the opposite direction from where you started in your most motivated state. Another problem with too much motivation is that you overload your mental. You're thinking about too many things at once because you're trying to improve at all these different areas because, again, your expectations, you want to improve as fast as possible because you're motivated. It's just like with any New Year's resolution, people try to go too hard. It doesn't matter what it is they want to get better at. They just do too much at once, really overwhelm themselves, and they end up crashing later. It also gets harder to do things that you know you're supposed to do, such as going to sleep on time, which is really important for improving at League. A lot of people overlook that, but if you're so motivated to play League at 2 a.m. and you know you should be asleep at midnight, then obviously that's going to be causing problems later. And you may be more willing to play in a tired state because you're so motivated when you know you shouldn't be. I'm fully aware that some people have a much easier time getting motivated than others. In my case, I'm pretty much always motivated to play League. I've never had issues with motivation when it comes to getting more of it. However, I do have to be careful of having too much motivation around the time that I'm going to play League. If you're like me, where you have too much motivation, what you need to do is avoid watching anything that's going to hype you up before you play. In my case, if there's any kind of action-based show that I want to watch, I make sure I do it before I go to sleep instead of right before I play League. Because if I do that, I'm going to have this protagonist mindset where I'm trying to 1v9 the game, which is not what I need to be doing, and I just focus on what I'm trying to work on, do my usual. As long as I'm not completely overloading my ability to think, then I'll be fine, and I'll probably play a lot better than if I'm too motivated. You can have the same issue with watching all kinds of montages or stats of Smurfs going 90% win rate, and you think that you want to be like them, but you're trying to do it too fast all at once. You got to be careful about that. If you're the type that struggles with increasing your motivation before playing League, as I said before, you can try to watch some action-based stuff, you can watch montages, whatever you think is exciting, just something to get you excited about the game. It doesn't even need to be anything fancy, just something new that you want to try out in your game. That's always great. Just tiny little things can go a long way. But if there's absolutely nothing that's motivating you to play League and you just dread hitting the play button on solo queue, maybe solo queue or League in general just isn't for you. You got to be real with yourself and think about how much do you actually want to play it? Why are you wanting to play it? Is it because you feel the need to hit a rank and then quit? Or do you actually enjoy playing the game and improving the game? Some people can feel demotivated because they feel lost or frustrated with solo queue, and that's entirely different. I can completely understand how that can happen. In that kind of case, maybe what you need to do is go back and look through your games and try to find something that's gone wrong, or look at a streamer and see what they're doing differently. If neither of those are really working for your motivation, maybe get someone to coach you, like me or somebody else, give you some advice so you know you have something to work on, and it feels like you have a step in the right direction that you can go forward instead of just remaining to be stagnant and frustrated on what's going on in your games. Burnout is typically caused by that feeling of lack of progress over a longer period of time. Or it can be even a short period of time, as I talked about earlier, if you're too motivated at the start. I know this is kind of a weird video, but just keep it in mind. Pay attention to how motivated you are and try to keep it at a reasonable amount so that you can remain effective in what you're trying to do, regardless of whether it's League or anything in life.